All right, we are in my Crown Vic. Has a 4L80E. I'm making a video. This video is to explain the differences between a D1 trans brake and a D3 trans brake from Jake's Performance. And based on your application, which one would suit you best. I just get asked about it sometimes, so I figured I'd make a video explaining how they're used, because it's easier. I'm a visual learner. I'm sure a lot of you guys are. So for this video, if I say auto shift, what I mean is like computer controlled, like stock computer or Holley or Megasquirt or any of those. And when I say manual valve body, what I mean is like you have to shift it to change the gears. So a D1 trans brake, it is only a first gear lever, meaning you can only leave out of first gear with it. And it's best suited, in my opinion, for manual valve body. It can be used with auto shift, but I'll show you what it looks like, what a pass would look like, and why I don't prefer it for auto shift. So if this is a D1, I have a D3 in this car, but if I had a D1 and it was manual valve body, what I would do is, a pass is going to look like this. You're going to stage, hit the brake button, let off the button, and then it's going to leave in first. And then when you want second gear, you push forward into second gear. When you want third, you push forward into third gear. The brake, the D1 brake, will only work in manual low, and it's only a first gear lever. Like, you can't put it in 3, press the button, let off the button. It's not going to have a trans brake. It won't work like that. So that was for the way I just showed you was for manual valve body with the D1. If you wanted to use it as auto shift with a D1, what it would look like is you would stage in 1, press the button for the brake, let off, and what you would have to do is instantly push from first to second, then second to third. Now, since it's auto shift, it's not going to automatically start shifting right away, but once you get it into third gear, the computer will take over, and then it will auto shift the 1, 2, wherever you have it commanded in the computer, and then 2 to 3. The reason you want to stop at 3 is because when the transmission is in, let's see if I can get the focus, 1, 2, or 3, the overrun clutches are on, it supports the overdrive sprag, so that's why you would just go 1, 2, 3. So that was auto shift with a D1. So as you can see, it can get goofy. Like if you have a truck with a stock shifter and you're trying to hold the brake button, and you got the D1 and it's auto shift computer control, you let off the button really quick and you try to jam it forward into 3, because if you just leave it in 1, it won't shift, because the low reverse band is still on, and it would cause like a big bind up. I don't believe it will ever shift, so that's why you have to go get it into third really quick, so then the computer can take over. Now what I have is I have a D3, so I do my burnout, start in second, finish in third. I got a little button over here. I can make it manual valve body for a split second through Holley, and then flip it down, and then it's auto shift again. So after my burnout, I just put it into 3 right there, and I stage, press the button, let off, and even though the shifter is in 3, the computer's commanding first gear, and then it will just take over from there, like, Holley take the wheel. So shifter's in 3, let off, it'll auto shift 1 to 2, then 2 to 3. So that is with a D3 brake and auto shift, computer controlled. What you can also do is you can, play with the shift points, and you could essentially make it like a second gear lever, and you play with the shift points and never use first. So if you really wanted to, you could leave in second with a D3 brake, because the beauty of a D3 brake is it can leave in first, second, or third. It all just depends on either if it's computer controlled and how you have the shift points set up, or if you had it manual valve body. So like I said, with D3 and auto shift, you just put it in D3 and just let off the button and it takes over. What you can also do with the D3 brake is if you wired it for manual valve body, then you could just put it in second, let off the button, and then second to third. So it would kind of make the 4L80 3-speed at that point. But yeah, I just figured I'd make a short little video explaining what what the differences are. That's why what I always suggest to people is if you have a computer controlled transmission and you want to auto shift it, it's a lot more money, but the D3 is well worth it. If you want to have a manual valve body, go with the D1. So the one main difference, another main difference between a D3 and a D1 is for a D3, you have to press the brake button in reverse for reverse. Some people, oh my god, they get a little annoyed, or they think it's because they call it like a pro brake at that point, but that's not what makes a pro brake a pro brake. That's internal valve routing or circuitry that determines whether it's a pro brake or not, but that's beside the point. But with a D1 brake, the one that's better suited for manual valve body, all you do is you just put it in reverse, and then it has reverse. But with a D3, like I have, you have to put it in reverse and press the button, which I thought was going to be really annoying. It really isn't. Then again, I have a huge car, and I can just press the button, and I got power steering and everything, so I can just back up easily. But that's why I suggest to people, if you got an auto shift, get the D3, and if you got a manual valve body setup, get the D1. But if you do decide to do the D1 brake with the auto shift car, you just have to do like I was telling you. You have to shift it out of manual low right when you let off the button. Another thing that has to happen is, because I believe, I have to read the instructions again, I think because there's no second accumulator anymore with the D1 trans brake, you have to command the shift parameters for the 2-1 downshift. You have to make it like 0 miles an hour, because if it tries to downshift from 2 to 1 with the D1 trans brake, used in an auto shift application, what it can do is it will bind the rear tires because it cannot release the intermediate band or the forward band quick enough before it applies, the stuff it needs to make first gear. So it'll get your attention really quick. If you go 2-1, it'll lock the rear tires. But I think I covered everything I wanted to cover. So, but that's it. Bye for now.